Hello and welcome to our flip video lesson, Cities of Sumer, lesson 3.03. Thanks for joining me today. So we are talking about the Sumerian culture. So our lesson details, reading pages 47 to 53, and then your student guide workbook pages 51 to 54. You do have an assignment in the OMS. It's your assessment for 3.03. And then we are talking about Sumerian culture. So what are we learning about today? Our lesson objectives. So we're going to describe the key physical and governmental features of Sumerian cities, explain how Sumerians were able to irrigate their crops and grow a surplus of food, and then we're going to talk about 3 characteristics of culture. And then those are additional objectives in this unit. We have lots and lots in Unit 3. So our introduction, what is culture? Culture includes a people's traditions, language, religion, customs, government, and family structure. It also includes the everyday details of what the people wear and eat and how they work and play, their whole way of life. These characteristics reflect the society's experiences, resources, values, and habits. So you will need your student guide for today's lesson. Please make sure you get it out and you open it up to page 53. So I'll give you a second to do that. If you need to go get it, please pause the video and come back. It is important that you have it with you every day. So we're going to start right on question 1. If you look in your student guide, this is a little different than the setup that you've had in the past, but there are reading guide questions. So these questions, these slides go right along with these questions, so you can follow along as I'm reading and write in the answers. So number 1, culture. Culture is a people's whole way of life. The things they do, their traditions, ideas, habits, customs, religion, education, art, and music. Questions number 2 and 3 deal with flooding. The Sumerians learned to control the flooding of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers by building levees. They watered their fields in dry weather by irrigating with water from canals they had dug. And remember, just a quick note, these canals were hand dug. There were no excavators. They were all dug by hand by small tools. And then carrying the water out to the field was most likely done with buckets or some kind of system where they had some kind of pulley to get the water out. Question number 4, division of labor. Division of labor means that workers do different jobs so they can produce more and better goods. Questions number 5 and 6, surplus. Surplus of food means people produce more food than they can consume. Since everybody did not have to devote all of their time and energy to getting food, people came together in villages and towns to find work, sell their goods, store their grain, and bargain for food. Villages and towns grew into cities as more and more people gathered. So that surplus meant there was an extra. They didn't have to go searching. They didn't have to be hunters and gatherers anymore. They were allowed to stay put in one space. And again, if you need to pause the video for more time to fill in your reading guide, please make sure to do that. Questions number 7 and 8. Most houses were made of mud brick. Major crops included wheat and barley. And then questions 9 and 10. Sumerians began to trade and make improvements in transportation. So Sumerians began to trade with other peoples because they lacked resources such as lumber and stone. They traded grain and cloth. They improved transportation with the invention of the wheel and discovered how to make sailboats. Question number 11, trade items evolve. The Sumerians first used barley for trade, but later switched to silver because barley was heavy and could spoil. Hierarchy in ancient Sumer. The small group who enjoyed the wealth and beauty of Sumer included governors, kings, priests, and scribes. And we'll learn throughout our ancient civilization this hierarchy is very common. There were only a few up here at the very top that enjoyed the luxuries. The majority of the people were laborers, slavery. They worked. Very, very few enjoyed freedoms and the beauty and splendor of the ancient world. Important vocabulary words to understand for your quiz. A granary is a storage area for grain, typically seated by an open market, open air market, which is kind of like a farmer's market. Elected means voted to a position. There were no elected officials in ancient civilizations. It was all done through birthright. Culture, a people's whole way of life, the things they do, their traditions, ideas, habitats, customs, religion, education, art, and music. And then a levee is a natural or artificial wall that blocks water from going where we don't want it to go. This is an optional on your own activity. I have in your own. I need to change that. Sorry for the typo. So turn to page 54 in your student guide and you'll see there's a document analysis. You can look at the box on page 51 in your Human Odyssey book, which is here. And we're going to talk about this in class as well, but you can go ahead and look at this blue box here and it will help you to fill in the information in this optional activity. It is on page 54 in your student guide. And here we come to our quote section. A civilized society is one that exhibits the 5 qualities of truth, beauty, adventure, art, and peace. And that was said by Alfred North Whitehead. And again, that's not a true definition of society. I guess I just want to make that clear. That's just a quote given by this man talking about a civilized society. So it is important to read your Human Odyssey book pages 47 to 53. Lots of information there. It will tie a lot together of what's going on in these flip videos as well as what's going on in class. And here we come to the end of our flip video. Thank you for joining me today. Stay positive, stay fighting, stay brave, stay ambitious, stay focused, and stay strong. Have a great day.